I remember this story. I wonder what's going on with it. With David, it's a. We'll get into it, but my God, that is an amazing story.
No, yeah, I mean, okay, so I sent through a link earlier because I did want to get your commentary on the David situation. We're rolling, just so you know. But what do you know about it, and what are your thoughts on it?
I remember watching the news because I'm kind of a newsie with stuff that's going on. I have a true crime show.
I know,
and it's called 1 Degree Scandalous. It's doing really, really great. And when I got the link to watch, I was like, God, I remember this story. Is it because it's really recent?
Yeah.
And the guy who met this girl when she was 11.
Yeah.
And those that don't know, it's Celeste was her name.
Yeah.
But he did songs with her name in it.
Yeah.
He did all this stuff. I'm like 11 years old, so obviously his first concert was at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, what's going on with the same tattoos they had?
Yeah.
Kills her in the Tesla. And by the way, if you're going to kill someone, get a Waymo because there's no witness. But anyways,
not the worst thing ever, but they got to be covered in cameras just like the Tesla, right?
Oh, Jesus, there you go, ruining my whole...
See, I'm really thinking about this. I might really have to kill somebody. No, just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of surreal because it's like, usually we're used to cases in which we see the cops arresting the most obvious suspect. And in this case, it feels like the trail of breadcrumbs has never been stronger in terms of establishing that this is this guy's MO. And still, apparently, they just don't have enough to arrest him.
Right. I'm watching it. It's like a 1 minute Columbo episode. It's like the guy has to, I mean, a song, the same tattoo in the finger.
Yeah.
He's known her for all this time. He sings a song about her. I'm just like, they're saying in the interview that this is not a person of interest. I'm like, not a person of interest.
Right.
If they got married, it'd be, I now pronounce you person of interest and wife. This guy is, my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. So I don't know from that link. I haven't gone on the news story if what's going on with him now. And it's honestly, it's one of those most amazing stories. And here's the thing. I think the biggest disease is when you're young. We see the story. There's a young kid who start making all this money, start doing concerts, start meeting probably women, start meeting this. And something happened that you had to get rid of something to cut something out of your life. And whether or not he did it, I don't know. But the story of finding the trunk of a Tesla, the smell of it during the summer, it's registered to him. I mean, it's sort of like, how is this not a person of interest?
I mean, the most obvious version of it is that somehow something happened. He kills her. He puts the body in the trunk of the Tesla. It's just kind of hard to imagine that any thinking person would leave this insane trail of breadcrumbs, put all these lyrics together, do streams online with the person, which is obviously already an insane thing to do with an underage girl if you're a successful recording artist who's signed to a major label. But then like the lack of intelligence that it would take to kill her and then just put her in the trunk of the car and then leave the car out for it to be towed, it just kind of boggles the mind of how somebody could be so not acting in their own best interest.
No kidding. I would love to see if they're going to ever release like interrogation tapes or something.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, you can kind of, I've done so many detectives on my show, and I did a public speaking of the Monterey and Seaside and Carmel, and I got to speak in front of 300 detectives and cops, and it's always they're always not the cops, but the criminals are always sociopaths, and they're always trying to deny anything. And it's sort of like speaking of the OJ thing, OJ was that sociopath, fit that whole psychological profile, and it's kind of like no brainers. They know, and usually when they have a good cop, bad cop, talking to detectives, it's because you want to become friends with them and they open up more. And it's like, hey, you're not a bad guy for doing this. Tell us why you did it. And, they're trying to get to information. And they're so good at what they do. And I think the interrogation of this young kid who he screwed up his life, basically.
For sure. Can you put the AC on? Oh, it is on. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's kind of mind-blowing
about AC, OJ, AC. He drove the Bronco. Hey, where are we going with this now? Hey, what's going on here, man? What's with the reference?
God. I love the energy from you, dude. And you know what? As soon as you came on, you reminded me of Mark McGrath.
Oh, yeah, I know Mark.
Just energy-wise. Like him on the podcast is just pure energy, and you kind of have like a similar thing going.
The Fly. Well, I mean, what was the name of the girl? It spaced me.
Celeste.
No, the
Oh,
group.
oh, Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray. Oh, yeah, Mark's a good dude.
No, okay. So, but that's the kind of crazy thing is that now David has apparently hired like Harvey Weinstein's legal team, which is, I kind of imagine would not have been financially plausible for him prior to his music going absolutely nuts. Apparently he's streaming at a rate that is like 100.
Still to this very, isn't there like
I'm sure a lot of it was probably like people who are just fascinated at first and tuned in, but I would assume some significant portion of them are still listening to the music. So he's probably not only basically being assumed to have murdered a young girl, but then also is now newfound rich.
Yeah, and you know, obviously he has to get a lawyer and all that. And I wonder with him, it's a really young crowd.
Yeah,
I wonder if the crowd is so young that if he's guilty, if they even care, because we're in a society now of people getting shot.
Yeah,
and you know, like the guy in New York, who has the insurance. You know, Mangione shoots a guy 3 times in the back.
Oh, Luigi,
Luigi, and people are like, he's adorable and all. It's such a. Would it be transfer in the rapper world of this guy? It's like he, you know, maybe it's like, wow, you know, now killing's okay, man.
I believe it because, okay, number one, you are always going to have a environment, and I actually believe that the OG trial was kind of like the beginning of this in our society in a way 100%. Where anything that happens, there will be like a counter narrative or an alternate version of events. And some significant portion of people are just going to choose to believe that because it kind of fits their narrative, which is a lot of it is kind of like men's rights activist type mentality where it's like, I just don't believe that this guy would kill the girl. But then on the other side of it, I do feel like, and especially like in the true crime genre, I feel like this is like a prevalent sentiment. But basically, like, there are women who look at men who are accused of horrible stuff like that in some way find this attractive because they see him as kind of just like a very passionate lover.
Yeah,
which is deranged, but you could imagine some percentage of women kind of latching onto that.
Like we've interviewed all these detectives. I said we had Gil Carrillo on. Gil caught the Night Stalker, and he would talk to, you know, like, hey Richard. He talked to him as Richard like he was a son, and because Night Stalker didn't have family life, and he opened up. But women, you got married in prison. You got this, you know, this whole thing with all fan mail of people coming to the courthouse, being able to get a seat, and having affairs with this guy, and he's you know. He killed 14 people. This is just blows me away that these people are like, oh, I'm open to that. You know, you know, he's gonna, you know, it's sort of like Henry the film. I don't know if you saw Henry the Portrait of a Serial Killer, based on Henry Lee Lucas, the guy who killed the most people in the world supposedly.
Oh, really? Wow.
And some people just get, you know, turned on to that. A real quick story. I'm going to stay with this whole thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So you just remind me. For some reason, I'm really a person. It's about light, not dark. So even when I was involved in this trial, I was like, oh, dark, because I just love laughter. I love people. So I was caught up in something. So through that thing, I became, you know, beyond famous. I couldn't go up for like a year, and I'm not tooting my horn, being humble.
At a time where you didn't have zillions of micro celebrities. You were either famous or you weren't.
Exactly. And it was TV. Social media wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So I got to meet, I got to introduce the Smashing Pumpkins, and when I did the introduction to them, they were with a group called Pantera. Pantera loved me, shot a video with me. They had their own brandy. I ended up doing a TV series called Eye for an Eye, where it was a judge with a baseball bat of justice, and I was the host of that. And we shot in Dallas, where they had all their strip clubs, and we did a lot of our challenges. In Eye for an Eye, people would have if you're guilty, you have to do something. For example, a guy who kept parking handicap, and he wasn't handicapped, so we gave him an epidural. He had to do things that your legs are paralyzed. He had to take a bath, get in a car, all these things. It was a great show.
You and Pantera did this on a reality show?
No, but we used their strip club for that. But while I introduced them, Dimebag Darrell gave me his guitar. Exactly.
Yeah.
Engraved my name in marble, and then gave me the guitar. 3 weeks to 3 months later, he got murdered.
Wow. So 3 weeks?
It was that in Ohio, because he started another band. A guy came on stage, shot him in the head.
Yeah.
So I go, Jesus, I hope everybody I hang out with just dies. And then I knew Robert Blake from the Playboy Mansion.
Really?
Yes. By the way, if you ever drive with him, never ride shotgun. But seriously, so it was like, oh my God, all these weird things.
Yeah.
That just why sometimes craziness approaches me. And I think it's because I'm kind of like affable and like, oh, come
Well,
to me.
as I talk to you, because I feel like that was one prevailing sentiment during the OJ trial and everything, was just pure astonishment by regular people. Like, I want to live with celebrities and pay $500 a month. I want to be friends. Like even me and my wife, we've done fairly well for ourselves, but she's a Zillow head. She's constantly just looking at what people's houses cost and everything. Yeah. And she told me one day, like, no matter how well we do in life, we're never going to be able to live in Brentwood.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I mean, it's extremely expensive. Or I think in her mind, it's like we wouldn't be able to have the kind of house with the kind of yard that we would really like. We'd probably be better off living in a cheaper area. But I mean, I think to a lot of people, it's hard to understand how somebody could have the energy and the charisma to be able to just make rich, successful people want to spend time around them. And within like 10 seconds of being around you, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. And which is also crazy because you're old as too. So it's just like, I'm sure you as a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old was like a totally different thing.
Oh yeah, completely that. And by the way, charisma, I've always wondered what the definition of charisma was.
Also, I'm sorry for calling you old as there. That just kind of came out.
Oh, no, please.
I'm pretty up there myself.
In dog years, I'm 3,000. Anyways, no, a buddy of mine always told me what charisma, because you mentioned the word charisma. He said, well, what's the definition of charisma? He said, oh, charisma is that thing that women with really big tits have. Anyways.
It just so turns out, yeah.
That's charisma.
Yeah.